everybody. Welcome Seth and Zack to the show. Play some music. Enjoy the show.
Crawling king snake, and I rule my den. Yes, I'm a crawling king snake, baby, and I rule my den. I don't wanna catch you running around, my baby. So I'm gonna crawl back again.
Heck yeah, nice. That sounds nice. Sorry, I got dogs barking in the background. It's always good to have blues with some dogs barking in the background. Welcome to Blue Mondays. I'm doing it from my humble abode today. This is the music room that I try to play in all the time when I'm not playing
It's
with
like all
Sammy.
music rooms. This is stuff full of stuff, man.
There's a lot of gear in here now.
So much.
Wow. I'm surprised it all fit. We have to move the drums back a little bit. It's okay.
Brought my herd of stuff.
These are nice. These are nice.
Evolution of the Batson guitars in action.
Oh, that's great. I like this. This bass sounds
I
nice.
call it this one's the P51. It's two basses in one. It's got a kill switch where I can knock out one side of it so it's not humming all the time.
Nice.
I don't have to fool with the volumes on it. I wired it kind of like a guitar. It's the second one I built, so it was a learning. They're all learning curves. I mean, they're all evolution.
That's only the second one you built.
This was the second one. Yeah,
Wow.
The one Mercury. The Mercury was the very first one, and I learned a lot doing it.
That was a little heavy.
Yeah,
It's heavy like Mercury.
It's got plyboard. It's got a plyboard on the back of it. They both have plyboard. I don't know. I thought it needed to be really strong, so I kind of overshot the runway on that. So it made them.
Like when you say plyboard, like OSB.
Yeah, like just regular plyboard, like somebody. I think I got some that was cabinet grade.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it wasn't the cheap stuff. It didn't have knots in it or anything. But
you might be able to get some good sound out of some cabinet grade.
I mean, yeah, it's it's $100. It's $100 for a couple of sheets of it anymore.
Oh yeah.
It went up there for a while. So that's when I changed over to the 1x12, and the edges are routed out where it's, nice and flush.
I like this. I like the hubcap built into the can there.
It's man, that was a trick.
Not bad.
And I didn't know anything about you know how they say it's like 24 3/4 inch scale neck or 25 1/2 inch scale neck. Well, see, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't know what that. Well, what that means is from the inside of the nut to right there. That's that number, and
Okay.
that needs to be right.
I imagine it matters.
That matters. That matters like a lot. Like when I first did that guitar, I put the bridge at the very end of it. I didn't know. I thought it didn't have that. I didn't know. So there's some mistakes. I covered up some. It was a learning curve. So.
Right.
But I wanted it to be a real guitar, so I just kept plugging away. I think it took me about 3 months to build that first one.
Wow.
Like just putting it together, taking it apart, and then putting it back together, and getting something a little bit right, and then I learned a lot. I think that every guitar player should do something like that, just to knowledge himself on
Oh, absolutely.
on doing that. It's like I know like different things for pickups and capacitors and switches and different kinds of things I've learned through messing with them. I was just interested in using different pickups and bridges and different, just all kinds of different stuff.
That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to have a craft guitar that
Yeah.
I could, a Frankenstrat of some sort I could
Yeah.
throw in.
I built regular guitar like Partcasters. I built Zack's Partcaster.
I like those lipstick pickups on there. They're coming out of
Those are full size.
dirty.
Those aren't those Strat size ones. Those are full size.
Are they Dan Electro?
Yeah, they're the
Yeah.
full size Dan Electro Seymour Duncans. And,
Nice.
and then it's got that copper control plate. I did that. I thought that was kind of a neat grounding
That's cool.
thing, and it makes it all,
It
it's
changes.
all contained right there in that little thing. You don't have to take the strings off or anything if you
Oh,
want to
nice.
mess with it. That's like the Mercury. You have to take the strings off of it. You have to take it completely apart to get off inside of it. But where I've done the newer ones, the newest one, they're split down the middle, and you can take them apart and leave the strings on it. And you can work on it without, have to take the strings off. And if you wanted to do, if you have to do something to it.
Right.
That's something I kind of evolved on that, making things a little easier to work on.
I like the Telecaster head on that.
Yeah, I think I might play it just a little bit. Get plays. Yeah, this one.
Played nice.
This one's. Go ahead and plug it up, Zack.
Oh yeah, that's the heavy one.
Yeah, I mean it's all there. It makes you remember being a young man.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
I fought tougher, man, but I can't remember that. Tell you what, I'm gonna try to find me another. But that stand is not gonna work. I take.
It's not enough stand for that machine.
No, it's. I like this Jackson. I bought this Jackson out of stupidity. When I should have bought other things I really needed.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Guitar Center looking for guitar strings and walked out with a whole guitar.
The block.
Yeah. Right there.
It didn't ride good.
Yeah.
Who you want to play the Mercury?
I'll play this gas can right here, guy.
I think that one was about the third one I built right there. I've got a double, I showed you the double.
Yeah,
I have.
I'd like to see it.
And the double, it weighs more than the bass, so I just left it at home.
riding, got me running, hiding low. Any way you want, let it roll. Roll, roll, baby, roll. Got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. Baby, 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 honey, what you want me to do? I said, baby, 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 honey, what you want me to do? I keep doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. Baby, honey, what's wrong with you? I said, baby, 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 honey, tell me what's wrong with you? Got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do.
I like your playing style, Zach.
Thank you.
I like watching you out there playing these bizarre guitars. Make it sound good. I like that.
Sounds different every time I play, for sure. Ain't quite figured it out.
I feel that way too. I've been playing my Strat here for probably the past year solid, playing the Selby, and I bought that Jackson and I realized that's a totally different sound.
It is.
It's a totally different animal.
Yeah.
I bought several amps and have found that the tube amp and the Strat have the sound that I'm used to and that I like.
It's hard to beat.
It is. It's really hard to beat. And it's a flashy guitar, the Jackson is, but I want to sell it and get a telly.
yeah. Do some trading.
Yeah.
But it's a nice guitar. I mean, it's got all the goodies in it.
It does. I got this little tailpiece thing on the end. It's the Fishman triple play.
Oh, yeah, for like acoustic sound.
Well, for the everything sound.
Yeah.
It runs wirelessly to my computer via Bluetooth, and it works with.
Like a MIDI.
Yeah, it's a MIDI controller, so it turns my guitar into a piano or a drum set or an orchestra if I want.
They made a Stratocaster.
I did. I had one.
You had one of those?
I had one of those, and the G. I was a
Roland
Roland
Whip.
GR33.
Yeah.
That was
That's a
the
long
last
time
one.
ago too.
I bought the whole thing. Gator cases. It was a Mexican Strat with the GK3 pickup built in.
Yeah.
It was Olympic white, all white picked iron and everything. And it came with the GR33 and 21 pin MIDI connection.
Wow.
Came with all the bells and whistles. $800
Yeah.
on eBay.
Oh.
And I can't find the guitar itself for less than $1,500.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
They were rare too. They
Yeah.
were kind of a rare bird.
It was
But
fun.
you know, you had to be kind of on the smarter side to have one.
Well-
Because I mean, like they had all the stuff to go along with it, and then to know how to work it and
YouTube
all
was my
that.
friend.
Oh yeah,
You know.
YouTube's got everything.
Once you set because you could go through and set your sound, but from the factory, if you reset it, you have to go in there and adjust on how much that one little pickup was gonna. You can raise
Yeah.
the
Do with it.
polarity, and
Yeah.
tell it what to do. And once you went through that like 8-week class,
Yeah. Once you learned how to use it, then you start jamming, man.
right? Then it was fun. I'd take it to open jams, and
Yeah.
play piano or saxophone
That's
on
cool.
my guitar. And this one, I can't do it. It only works with a computer or the latest and greatest iPad.
Yeah.
Only the iPad has the software for it. So I'm like,
Man, wow.
less American.
Got that proprietary.
It's like a John Deere tractor, the John Deere tractors, they have that kind of stuff, the computer stuff, and
Yeah, it's on
they've
priority.
got to work on it, that's smart stuff.
Dang tractors cannot drive themselves anymore.
They can. I wish we had something like that. I've thought about something that tills, like a little robot tiller.
Yeah.
But
We did cotton farming down in Texas. I worked for a cotton farm.
Oh boy.
And
Boy.
harvest season
Oh,
was like
hot.
5 a.m. until
Yeah.
3 a.m.
Until you
Texas.
died in the heat out there.
Or the cold.
It wasn't cold ever, huh?
Harvest season, it was cold. That was around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And usually Thanksgiving Day, you were out working the fields because cotton had to be.
It was always going.
Yeah, it was constantly going. And it was, usually, it's West Texas, so it's cold, flat, always windy.
It's high plains.
Yeah, High
Yeah.
Plains desert.
Yeah.
We're getting flooded now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Man, there's a lot of nothing out there. I know we went that direction on 40 and rolled through Amarillo to Tucumcari
Oh, yeah.
and a whole bunch of nothing out there. Man. I mean,
Yeah.
no man land.
Watch your dog run away for 3 days.
Can you imagine riding the wagons? Like when they were riding wagons and they got to Amarillo and they were looking across there. It's like, you want to keep on trucking? It's like, I'm done now.
This is it, last stop.
Went for like a month and a half. It looks the same. Let's just stop.
Yeah. I like that about Oklahoma. It's one of my favorite things here.
It's a lot of it goes from one end to the other.
Well, we get like 60 inches of rain, where
Yeah.
there we get like 12.
Yeah, yeah. You never know what you're gonna get in Oklahoma. It's always crazy weather. Arkansas, there's a lot of northeastern Oklahoma and northwestern Arkansas. They're a lot
Right.
alike, hilly and trees
Yeah.
everywhere and lots of
Yeah, I got a lot more hills, I think.
and they're a little more extreme.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more.
Ozarks.
Got hollers over there.
Yeah. No, it's
You got
pretty.
got them hollers.
Yeah, that's
I've
pretty.
driven through that area quite a bit through my life.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of good areas to it. I like northwest Arkansas. We went all over it. My wife's from Arkansas, so she knows a few of the places. And we went. Have you ever heard of the Arkansas Grand Canyon? Yeah, they've got one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's green. It's real green.
Oh,
And you get to
wow.
this one place, and you can kind of see it's kind of a straight ridge across there, but it's all, it's kind of like the Grand Canyon, but it's all green.
Oh, wow.
I want to say it's on Highway 7, like you get down by Russellville and you turn on Highway, I believe 7.
How far is that from here, would you say?
Maybe 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah, possibly. You know where Russellville's at?
Kinda.
Once you get to Russellville, I think it's back up that way, an hour or so.
Okay, that's up towards the northwest.
Yeah, yeah, you're
South
headed
of
that
Batson
way.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dog Patch was up that way, I believe. You know, they bought, either, I think, Best, Outdoor, what's the bunch out of Springfield? Bass Pro, yeah. Bass Pro, I heard, had bought Dog Patch. I don't know how we get up on Dog Patch USA. Arkansas, talking about places.
Could I plug in your bass?
You bet.
I'd like to bang on that for a minute while I'm playing some guitar. Yeah, this is not something I'd want to play every night.
Man, I play it more than you would think. I play it during the day. I've got one of those little spark amplifiers.
Yeah? I
And
like that.
I love it. Man, it hooks up to YouTube, you know, and you can pull up anything, and it's pretty loud, and I just play along with it all the time with that bass.
Where's your hole at?
That's to the back there, at the bottom.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now it's got that one's the three-way switch. Yeah, that way you can kill it if you want to. The back two are for the P middle, and then the front two are for the front and back. Those two in the back.
That's
Anyway, you do that one.
Somebody loan me a dime so I can call my old used to be. Somebody loan me a dime so I can call my old friend. a good little girl. At that time I didn't understand. Yeah, she's a good little girl. That time I didn't understand. Lord help me. Let me help me. I cry, cry, cry like a baby all night long. Yes, I cry, cry, cry just like a baby all night long. Somebody help me. Somebody look me down.
It cuts through, man. It's got that strong mid.
This has got nice sound to it. I like that.
It's a solid machine. Other than its weight, you know, the next one I build, I can lighten it up.
Right.
You think you'd want the full size?
You can hunt with this thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It comes down to clubbing an elk down.
Yeah, it's tough. It's road worn.
Yeah, that's a nice, just all around bass stuff. I mean,
It's you know when you've got it on and you know you're standing and everything, it kind of falls in a you know like that other thing, you know, like a jazz bass or anything. It's got that horn right here, you know, that kind of throws it in a weird place there on you. It's kind of like in the middle.
I'm
And it's
tending to
just
be
kind of
a bigger guy myself because I'm lazy. And
the way it kind of falls on you, you know. It's kind of I like how your arm, you know, it's kind of got a good place for your arm, you know. It makes it easier it seems like it's easier to thump with your thumb, you know.
yeah, I can't do that. Bronco.
Oh man, he's a slapper.
Oh, it's not.
It's like I need some room for slapping, you know.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start with slapping bass. Kind of a self-taught bass player.
Yeah, me too.
I had a good friend of mine in Colorado. We were gonna start a band together, and I thought I was a guitar player.
Yeah.
This guy was a walking jukebox. like one of those Asian kids, you know.
Yeah.
And I decided maybe I want to learn a different instrument. But
Yeah.
He pushed me to learn something different. He's like, man, if you learn bass, I'll teach you the songs.
Yeah.
So he taught me about 8 hours worth of classic rock. You know, on
101.
bass.
Yeah, on bass.
He would learn the
Yeah.
song on the guitar and then on the bass, and then we just work it out.
Man, bass is essential. You need the bass.
yeah.
I mean, the bass is always got to be, you know, there. It seems like.
But yeah, it's a great sound.
It's just like, you know, you get stuck playing the bass and it's like, you know, it's like I'm just gonna do the same thing, and then I might turn it around just a little bit, you know, and then it's like, and then Zach's over there tearing it up, and it's like, come on, boom, 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 you know.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was, you know, the thing of it is, me and Zach could probably tour the world if I would have just took a bass when we were kids, you know. I just said, hey Zach, you play guitar and sing, and I, you know, do the bass. And we had a drummer, you know, a really good drummer, and yeah, but I always wanted to play guitar too. So me and him just played guitars, and we never had a bass player. You know, we never could find anybody to play bass for us. But we played like that for years.
That's why you picked up bass. Huh?
Yeah. Well,
Not
not till
till recently.
recently, yeah. Just a few years ago, I really kind of got into bass. I thought, well, you know, I don't know. I kind of understood the role more, you know, because you're kind of like the bus driver when you're a bass guy. You're doing the whole thing. Everybody's kind of riding with you. You know, you got to kind of keep on the road. You know, everybody else can kind of jump out the windows, but you know, you're kind of rocking there. And
That's
keep
one of
it.
the things I liked about playing bass. You know, me and the
Yeah.
family can hang out in the back.
It is a different role. It's a different role. It's a fun role. I mean, if you can learn to enjoy it, then it's great. I mean, it's just it's a you know, I mean, everybody needs a bass player. I mean,
Yeah.
you probably work a lot more if you're just a bass player. But,
Oh, absolutely.
you know, I don't know. I wonder. Now I look back on my life and I think about that. Like how me and Zack could have probably went around the world 5 times, and if I just played the bass, we'd have been like a ZZ Top or something, you know.
Yeah, I played bass when I moved out here, and then Selby kind of moved me to guitar over time because he likes to play
Man,
bass.
I didn't know you were. I didn't, man, because you know when we jammed before, you know,
Yeah, he's on bass.
yeah, you were a bass player then, and I didn't know about your guitar playing.
With
And I was
the
like,
Imperfectionists.
yeah, the Imperfectionists. Yeah, we played a little bit.
We'll see us
Got
about
the-
playing bass.
And then COVID hit, you know, and then man, it shut everything down, and it's like,
Kinda. We played like 3 festivals though.
yeah,
During COVID.
yeah, yeah.
And then right after COVID, we broke up. I broke up with that band probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I played with Charlie, the drummer, a
Yeah.
few months back. She came out to Rainy.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, she jams.
Yeah.
Well, they both of them, yeah, they jam.
Yeah, I'd like to get together and jam with them again.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
it is different. They were different.
It was a neat sound.
Yeah, it made their own sound. It wasn't country. It wasn't blues. It wasn't, you know, it was kind of like alternative. It's kind
Yeah.
of a new wave.
Yeah.
You know, kind of give you some kind of different view on things.
Bring that style of music back. We did a kind of a punk rock cover of "Since You've Been Gone" by
Pink Floyd.
no, was it Kelly Clarkson?
Oh yeah. Man. It's an ever-changing song. It's got a few different parts, bridge and chorus and whatnot, but it's pretty fun. Yeah.
His voice works well for the type of stuff.
Yeah, he had a really unique voice.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was really hard for us to jam on the regular though because he lives up in Fayetteville.
Yeah,
It was Charlie lives in Wagner and I live in Chicago.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
I played with y'all over they're in their dispensary over there in Wagner.
That's right.
On the main street. Yeah. Y'all had a jam every weekend.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. They still have the Therapy Thursday jams up there.
Oh yeah.
As far as I know, they're still doing that. Stretch and Homer and all those guys.
Yeah.
Marijuana Mike.
Yeah.
Because Marijuana Mike plays with them and,
Yeah.
and with Sylvia in there.
Yeah, that's right. He's in a lot of places. He's all over the place.
Yeah. He's doing some cool things. I saw something I want to get him the other day. It's a grand piano. It looks like a grand piano
Yeah.
where you put your keyboard in it, but it's like, it's got the whole grand piano type front of it.
Yeah, kind of fancy looking.
Kind of fancy stage presence.
Yeah.
Something like $50. I'm thinking about maybe buying that for him. At the Blues Club.
Man, the Blues Club has got a great vibe. You know, that old place is. I mean, how old is that building?
Jeez, I think the 20s.
Yeah, I thought it was even like teens.
They've added on to it.
They've added on to it like it was his grandma's house or something like that.
It might be a lot older.
Oh, it was
older than that.
crazy. It probably there when they had that Civil War fight across the street.
Yeah.
You know? Wow.
Yeah, they've done a lot to it. That's Bronco told me about that place. I've been going there ever since. It's where I found music in Oklahoma. I haven't played more music in Oklahoma than I have
Anywhere.
anywhere else.
Yeah, there's a lot of musicians over in Oklahoma.
I've played out all over the place.
Yeah.
With all kinds of people. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And now I get to do this. I get to
Yeah,
That's a nice little jammer he's got there. I like that. That's a nice little place. I want to go play there again.
Oh, it's Steve's?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great place to go
Yeah,
play.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
and that's a week after, isn't it? Y'all's barbecue?
Yeah. It's gonna be
It's a week after.
weekend after.
Is that the base?
It is.
Well, you can switch it. That in the back there, like if you can. Yeah, there you go. See, it's got like 2 channels. It's got like 2 bases in one. You can turn one off. sounds it and feels it, you
You
know.
know, Chris Farley was a big man. He was quite nimble. You
Yeah.
know, so,
It's the flex.
You know, when you switch it over to the other bass, it's not as good as the P bass. It's like I like the middle that middle white pickup. That's about the best pickup on it. It's like the other side just sounds weaker. It seems like, but it's wired like a guitar. Because I mean, I was as the second one I built, I thought, hell, I'll wire it like a guitar.
I like that you had.
It's like got so much stuff in it, you know. It looks impressive, but it's really not. I mean, it's like it's got several things going on there, you know. You know, all the way back is on the bridge, so it gets a real twangy. You can get a real twangy sound out of it, or you get a real full sound out of it. You know, it's. I thought I was doing good. You know? Yeah, I thought it out. I went wild with it. I was like, I'm gonna put two basses in one, and a gasket.
That's a good idea, though. I mean, versatile, that's for sure.
Kind of morphed into a working man's blues. You know, it's funny, you know, you grow up in Muskogee, you kind of, you don't even know it, but you got to know all of that, you know.
There's a lot of great music out of this side of the country.
Yeah, well, you know, Eric Clapton always thought it was because we were in the middle of the country, that we just got a little bit of everything, you know. In Tulsa, the
Such a mixture of music.
Tulsa sound was just a mixture of everything from all around, you know, jazz and blues and country, just everything.
We do a lot of rock, you know, rock bands, 90s rock bands, the Nixons.
Yeah.
They're a Tulsa band.
Yeah, there's some Tulsa bands around.
Met those guys in Denver at the Bluebird.
Oh.
They were playing downtown Denver, and my weed dealer at the time got me tickets. She said, "Hey, you want to go see the show?" We went downtown and saw them, and we had balcony seats in the very top. And
Yeah.
there wasn't very many people up there. They called us down. They called everybody down. We ended up the front and talked with their bass player outside the venue for a little bit. 'Cause he had it was the first time I seen it covered, like somebody put to make their bass fretless, like this plastic
Oh,
piece
yeah.
fit over its neck.
Oh, so he didn't have to have the frets taken off.
Yeah.
It just
That's weird.
That is
Yeah,
crazy.
it was like a clip-on
A
tie.
bit of a clip-on tie for fretless bass.
And it was the first six-string bass that I've ever seen too.
Wow.
And we got to talking, and he gave us a tour of their bus and took us to the bar, and I was drunk afterwards. So it was probably only 19 at the time.
That's cool. That is cool.
It was a fun time.
You know, and a lot of, you know, Tulsa's big enough that it gets most of the big acts. You know, a lot of big acts come through Tulsa.
Oh, the rock all every year too. They got a big rock
Oh
festival.
yeah, that's a big deal. You know.
Here in Stigler has a rock the Equinox. It's a music festival, mainly rock and metal bands and
Yeah.
stuff like that. We came last year. I think it's the same, the weekend after the festival also, I think it is, right around the time, maybe it's at the end of the month, right around there. But it's pretty good stuff too.
They have a lot of bands.
It's down here at the lake, yeah, it's a
Oh,
two-day
yeah.
festival.
Yeah, everybody gets wild with it.
Yeah, probably 12 bands or
Yeah.
so.
That's a good time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I saw it last year. It was all right. Let's see it again.
I did a thing with Zack, how many years ago was Beach Bash? That was several bands. And they had a big,
5 years.
they had a big stage and
Storm like crazy.
yeah, we ended up drinking.
Seth left his guitar there.
There's some stuff there. Had to gather up some equipment next day. It was a good time. Yeah, we had a good time. But they had a big old stage, and then it come that big rain, and it was. I mean, it was.
Hunker down.
Yeah, I mean, because you know, on the lake, man, something can blow up on the lake really
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
I mean, like where you know,
You follow
well,
a shower.
especially if you've been drinking, you know, half the day. You know, it's
Yeah.
like whoa.
Your fall is a bit shallow, so it gets those big white caps real fast.
Oh yeah, that water can get choppy, boy, really quick, man.
I'm used to deep water in Colorado, it'd be 100 feet deep, you know,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't get white caps.
I don't know how deep. I mean, there's some places in Eufaula that's pretty deep. It's got some places in it where it's pretty deep, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
really big and spread out.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a big lake.
it's a big lake.
I've seen some big lakes, but that's big.
Yeah, I think Grand Lake is bigger. I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest lake in Oklahoma.
Are y'all
But
going,
Eufaula's right there.
are y'all gonna do the whole hog fest again this year?
Oh no, I haven't heard from anybody about it. I think it's July 31st or something like that, 30th, 31st.
I like that venue,
Yeah.
the barn over there.
Yeah, it's cool.
That was a really cool place. I'd like to talk to them.
Yeah, we'll be back there the 22nd of June.
That's for the
Crawfish pool, yeah.
How much are tickets to that?
I don't know yet, I haven't posted it. All I know is it starts at 6.
We're thinking about doing that. I love me some mud bugs.
Yeah,
That's
that's
been
good.
good. A lot of work, but man, they're
It's
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah. You know, you got
back,
the.
suck the tail out, and then suck all the insides out the
I
other.
like all the vegetables in there too. You know, like the corn and the hot potatoes. I mean, that stuff stays in there and it gets that boil into the mixture. You know, and it those things get hot. You know, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
open you up, man.
I had some pretty hot fish or mud bugs down in New Orleans. And
Oh, I bet.
the place we get them down there, they just take a bucket of them and throw it on the table with the brown paper on the
Yeah.
table. And
Yeah,
sit
there was a place in Tulsa like that.
Oh, yeah?
They call it the Cajun Boiling Pot. It's on Memorial.
I wonder if they're.
Remember that one? I don't know if it's. I guess probably, man. It's been years and years since I've been.
Do you think they catch them locally?
I don't know where they got those from. I bet there's probably an outlet. You know, you can.
Yeah.
Checked in.
Sometimes you can get the clean meat there at like Harps or something. I know
Yeah.
over there where we lived, they had at certain times of the year they'd have it frozen. You could buy it. And it was kind of high, but
I'm always afraid to buy seafood
yeah.
in Oklahoma.
yeah, it's not a wise decision. I
Yeah,
mean,
that always
sometimes.
worries me quite a
Especially,
bit.
you know, like somebody that shows up in like an S10 pickup truck and they got a freezer in the back of their truck. You've seen some.
I've
you've
been in a
seen
hotel
some-
parking lot all night long with that thing.
Yeah, had the freezer plugged in for a little bit, but then he was like, yeah, they're still good, man. You gotta get them though. You gotta get them while they're fresh.
Yeah, I did buy some good stuff off of the guy that came through Chicago. I bought some shrimp off of him. It turned out really good. But the other fish I bought off of him was questionable. Oh, man. It was really rough. Where can somebody contact you about getting one of these?
Facebook, man.
Facebook?
Yeah, just get me a hold of me on my. Just friend request me and we'll talk one out, man. We'll get one going. I'm getting ready to go on vacation, but I'll be back. And once I get back, I'll be ready to build some more.
So something about this made me think of if you could make it selectable. Have you seen that rotary guitar pickup that's got all these
Oh,
different
yeah.
pickups built into it?
Yeah.
And be able to take a hubcap like that, you know, put
And
on
then just rotate it around. I guess if you had the only deal is getting it around the bridge. You know,
Yeah.
it's like if the bridge has got to be fixed. It's like the bridge doesn't
Right,
move.
right,
You got to
yeah.
kind of move around the bridge. It would have to have something in the middle of the bridge that would let it spin.
Yeah, you'd have to have a smaller.
Are you talking about like a spinner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
jig
And then it
pin.
would, then the wiring, because I mean, it would only go so many times around. Then you'd have to start going back around the other way.
I see you have like an oven timer on this too.
Well, now that's a baritone. When I started out, the reason I built that guitar was I never had a 345 Gibson, the baritone like B.B. King guitar, and I wanted to build a B.B. King type guitar out of that, and that's the way I wanted to go with it, with the baritone and those humbuckers like that, like a Gibson style humbucker. It makes a lot of different tones. You can get a lot of different tones out of that guitar.
I like the
But
knobs
it's,
on both sides.
once you start using the baritone though, it pulls it down a little bit. You lose some volume.
Pull some
One-
juice.
Yeah, like when it's in the one position, it's loud, but once you start, like a two and on, it's like it goes through a little bit of a capacitor that kind of pulls it down. And, it's got a bass cut where it's just kind of really bassy, and then it's got a like a treble cut where it just takes out all the bass and it's real, pitchy.
Now, could you, in essence, maybe use that for almost like an attenuator on a tube amp, so you could
Get
break
different-
it up and tune it down a
Get
little bit?
different capacitors, through it that
Yeah.
would, that's really kind of one of the first, that 345 when they had the baritone. That was kind of it's kind of like a mod. It's kind of a modded deal. It's kind of because you can get all the different tones out of it. Kind of like having a pedal, but on your guitar. But it never really caught on. Like a lot of guitars didn't get it. I mean, there was just the 345s, the 355s. Freddie King used one. B.B. King used one. There's been some very few others, but a neat mod, you know,
Yeah.
because I mean, you know, you can take just, you know, limited stuff and make, you know, it kind of turns it around and adds a little bit to it or takes away from it, you know.
Crunch it up a little bit.
And when you listen to B.B. King, you can kind of tell. You know, I always wonder what baritone switch, you know, what number he's on. You know, what he's, because he never played any chords. Like his stuff was just all solos.
Right,
and
he's singing solo.
He's singing solo. He had such a good band. You know, I mean, he's. I found a deal on YouTube the other day where it's B.B. King in Africa. You ever listen to B.B. King in Africa?
No.
He's amazing.
In
It's like-
Africa or with the
Yeah,
band?
he went to Africa in like 1974
Okay.
with James Brown and Muhammad Ali, and like when they had the fight over the Rumble in the Jungle or
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
But they took B.B. King. B.B. King went too, and amazing. Well, he's like at the top of his game, and just really lively music. I mean, there's a lot like you can hear the crowd in the background and everything, and everybody's just tripping out. You know, B.B. King, you know, taking over Africa. So,
I wish I could have seen him in concert.
oh, I seen him with the Allman Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Me and Andy went with my mom. I went with my mom. My mom took us to
Oh.
see B.B. King,
Yeah.
B.B. King and Buddy Guy, Eric Johnson, and maybe Kenny Wayne Shepherd and the Allman Brothers. And it was a daytime deal and going into night, and it's at the Starplex in Dallas. And the Starplex has seats. It's got seating down there, and it's under a covered thing.
Right.
But then the back of it is like all grass, and it's like a big old hill, you know, and it filled up. Yeah, it filled up with a bunch of people, and there was a bunch of bikers there. And just about the time the Allman Brothers came on, all these bikers kind of came meandering down there. You know, I'm with my mom, and me, and we're like, you know, me and my friend, we're like 15 years old. You know, all these bikers kind of come in, and then it just looked like it caught on fire with pot smoke. And my mom's like, we gotta go, I gotta get you guys out of here. Even though she could have left us and we'd have been fine, you know, but to her, oh, she freaked out. It's like, man, we gotta get out of here, you know.
Wow.
It was funny. One of those childhood memories. You know, your mom trying to, you know, look cool or something, making, you know, take your seat. You know, it was an awesome concert, and, you know, it's funny to look back on, you know.
My parents took me to a lot of concerts. I was fortunate to grow up with hippie parents. And,
Yeah.
and they were taking me to concerts from age 3, and I
Yeah.
was going to shows. Tarp was like my first concert. that
Oh,
I
hard.
seen.
Oh, man.
I don't remember, but I was there.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing, a lot of pot smoke in the air. And
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
I remember.
Wild place, you know. One of my first concerts that I remember going to was Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, wow.
over at Muskogee Civic Center. They had it was Hank Williams Jr. and Merle Haggard and John Anderson. Remember, just a swinging.
Yeah.
John Anderson, yeah. And Merle, you know, I seen him like 2 or 3 times when I was a kid. My dad loved him, you know. My dad loved Hank Williams Jr. I loved Hank Williams Jr. too, but you know, he was so fucking wild. He was such a, like, there was one show there where he got drunk and he didn't have no shirt on, and I'm sure he was drinking, but like he wouldn't stop. Like they had to like pull the power on him, you know. He was with Merle Haggard, and they ended up just turning him off. They cut the power off, and he was standing there shirtless, you know, yelling there. Ricky Skaggs came out there and got him.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's like, yeah, man, Hank Jr., man, crazy guy,
I
man.
saw Bob Dylan in that condition.
Oh, really?
I saw him pass out on stage 3 times when I was like 12 years old. My parents took me to see him at the Civic Center in London.
Man.
And they had to drag him off stage. They dragged him off stage by his feet after he passed out.
Man.
I mean,
Bob Dylan.
And he just,
Man. Bob Dylan.
oh man.
That's hard to believe, but you know, I guess it isn't.
The 80s, he was pretty, everybody was out there on the, whatever it was.
He's still alive and kicking. You know, that's the crazy
He's
thing.
alive.
Yeah, Bob Dylan's he's still out there alive and kicking somewhere, doing his thing, man. That's amazing. That's like Jerry Lee Lewis. You know, Jerry Lee Lewis just passed away.
Yeah.
He
I
was,
thought he died like 30 years
dude.
ago.
You know, he should have. Like they made a biography about him like 30 years ago. You know, it's like usually if they do a biography on you, you're clinging to the rim. You're about to go out, or if you haven't gone out. You know.
One of my favorite biographies was the Buddy Holly
Gary Busey.
Gary.
Man, he lived it.
He
He
did.
lived it. He played all that music, and I mean that's as close as he ever came to winning any awards for
Yeah.
anything. You know, that's the most serious role he
Teddy
ever
Jack
had.
Eddie.
Teddy Jack Eddie, man. I mean everything else he done was, I mean, not like that. You know, I mean.
He does like animal court now, you know?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Pretty funny.
Because he'll talk to the animal. He'll look at the animal and ask something about it.
Oh, I gotta see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's on Amazon.
It's all
Yeah,
staged.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's done
I
it.
mean,
Pretty funny.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
Oh, wow.
yeah, because you never know what he's gonna say, you know, or where he's coming from. I mean, bouncing your head off the curb does things to you. You know, if you never come back right. I mean, but he's another one. I mean, he's still out there live and kicking.
Yeah.
Doing his thing.
Waylon Jennings, he was from Shallow Water. He was right down the road from Levitt.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Dean, he was from Littlefield, which was on
Yeah.
the other side of Levitt.
Yeah, there's a lot of Texas musicians.
Yeah,
man.
all West Texas music.
Yeah.
Even the Dixie Chicks, Natalie Maine, she's
Yeah.
from out of Texas.
Yeah.
Not welcome back there.
Don't you ever come back, huh?
They kicked her out, but yeah, a lot of good music comes out of there. They got a pretty good college, the South Plains College, and they got a Nashville, a lot of bluegrass music
Oh.
and Nashville pickers come out of.
Man, there's a lot of
They used to.
them bluegrass pickers. That's a whole other deal.
Oh yeah.
Those guys are crazy.
You know Johnny Sorrell goes up to the blues club.
I've heard of him.
He every time I've seen him, he's always played bass. I've always seen him play bass. And he came over to my house when I was in Chicago, and he saw my banjo hanging on the wall. He said, "You mind if I pick that up?" And I thought, "Sure, go for it." And he kind of fiddles around with it for a minute, and so, "You mind if I set this up for you?" I said, "Man, do what you need." And
Yeah.
I gave him some tools, and he got it all fixed up. And it was like Chet Atkins on the banjo. It was just blowing my mind. I'm just like, why are you not doing this?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Man, you know, just finding a place to do that.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, I started on mandolin.
Oh wow.
I played mandolin and played in some bluegrass groups and messed around. My grandparents went to all the different concerts around. There's a lot of different places that used to have some concerts. I guess as an older generation, you know, that World War II generation, they liked that bluegrass music.
Speaking of mandolins, pull that mandolin off the wall there. Is that fixable? See that? Yeah.
The top kind of sunk in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that fixable?
Well, I don't know. I bet that, you know, is there a, do you think there's a thing in there that's supposed to be like a spreader?
No.
You know, like they're supposed to be in something, like on a fiddle, you know, a fiddle has a thing, and it's like a little dowel rod.
Yeah.
It's right there in the center, and it's kind of like wedged in there, so it kind of, it don't do that. Yeah, but I don't know if that's, have you ever took this pick guard off?
No. It sat in a window. It was a good mandolin once upon a time. I did a couple of recordings with it. It
Yeah.
sounded great. Plus, it's electric. So
Yeah.
I hate that. And it sat in a window on the outside wall in
kinda
the
cooked
corner,
it.
and it kind of cooked it,
Yeah.
and it worked it in. And it
Yeah.
sat there for probably 6 months or so.
I'd be curious to see what was underneath the pick guard, like if it had a big, you know, big hole right there where it kind of, you know, compromised it, and like if you could get anything. I don't know. You probably take the bridge would come off and this would come off, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if you could get it, you know, enough moisture in it where you could get it kind of pliable, where you could,
Yeah.
you know, I think it would have to have something underneath it there that would kind of jam it back up. But I bet it's still, I mean, it still would play pretty good. I mean,
No, it needs to
oh, it's
be-
kind of tight, huh?
Yeah, it needs to be.
I see.
It needs to be
The neck's
worked on
kinda-
and set
yeah.
up and fixed.
The neck's kind of changed on it.
Yeah. Needs to be straightened out.
You know, once I got to a certain age, mandolins were just, I mean, just, you know, big old fingers
Yeah.
got in the way, and it's like, and it was, I don't know, I guess I wasn't a hardcore bluegrass guy, you know, for,
I learned how to play what I did on it by sawmill tuning, and it was DG. And so it was Appalachian American tuning, is what
Yeah.
I called it, you know, hillbilly
Yeah.
tuning. And it was really easy to have it tuned that way, play it, and play to
You know, I got to meet Bill Monroe
Oh, wow.
at McAllister. You know, McAllister, they used to have a big bluegrass show. It's called the Sanders Family Bluegrass Show. And, you know, bluegrass, that's the cool thing about bluegrass is even the biggest stars, like Bill Monroe was the father of bluegrass music. I mean, he had been on, you know, the radio since the 30s and 40s. You know, he's known by everybody in that group, you know. But the stage was just kind of like you know, anybody could go up to the stage, anybody could go backstage. There's no security, you know. It's like you could walk right up to the door and there was a guy standing there. He's like, come on in. And there was Bill Monroe and his whole band, you know, the Bluegrass Boys,
Oh, wow.
you know, and he was like, come on over here. And I had a hat, a Bill Monroe hat, and he signed the hat and you know, sit there and talk to me for a minute. And he was just a super pleasant guy. And there's a fiddle player. His name was Kenny Baker. He was a fantastic, you know, fiddle player. I got to meet all those guys, and I was just a kid, you know, I was 8, 9, 10 years old, somewhere around that area. But then we seen Doc Watson. I seen Doc Watson at that
Wow.
thing.
Yeah.
I wish I would have treated Doc Watson like I did, you know, Bill Monroe, because I mean Doc Watson. I mean he was a leaps and bounds to me, and like now, you know, looking back on it, I love Doc Watson.
He's blind.
Yeah, he was blind. And he had his son. Now I got to see his son too. You know, his son was in a tractor accident, and he lost his son. And that was like he went on. He kept on playing and everything, but it wasn't the same. You know, his son was super good. I think his name was it Merle? I think it was Merle Watson. Yeah. Yeah. And that was you know, there's lots of different music influences out there. And you know, kids today, you think about having YouTube, and just like anything you can think of, you can look at. You know, and it's just like when I was a kid, you know, you were looking into everything that you got your hands on, really. I mean,
Yeah,
it was-
records and tapes.
Yeah,
If you
records and
wanted to learn how to
tapes.
play a song, you had to have a good ear to listen to it.
Yeah, or
you
somebody
got
maybe
Guitar
told you.
Magazine and
Yeah,
track
guitar
it
mag,
and
tablature, you know, all that stuff about learning this, that, and the other. And, you know, there's not really guitar heroes now. Like when we were kids, you know, we had guitar heroes. Like, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I think Stevie Ray Vaughan was probably the last guitar hero. Like somebody came out, it's just like everybody was blown away by him.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody loved him, and he gained. I mean, he brought blues into the, you know, mainstream. You know, I mean, that's amazing. You know, where I don't think anybody's really done that since.
Yeah, probably not.
Not like that.
Not with guitar.
Not that force.
You know.
Not that amazement.
Van Halen the same way. Nobody's
Yeah.
really.
Nobody's doing what he was doing.
Right. Some Asian kid somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll be
yeah.
mainstream in about 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like, you know, we've talked about there's musicians out there. There are young musicians out there that are good. And they're just not getting that.
Yeah, you gotta support local music.
You do.
You know, and that's one thing that inspires me to do the podcast, because I can get local music out there, get these bands heard, and
Yeah.
maybe somebody with an independent label, or maybe somebody will meet somebody and say, hey, we want to record you and throw it out
Yeah.
there. If nothing else, you know, put it on the internet.
Yeah.
It's so hard to make
Capture.
anything make money at it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Spotify's gonna pay you 1/10 of a cent
Yeah, if that.
every 8 months.
Yeah, if you even know about it, it's on there and nobody even knows. You know?
You know, have great songs and have 2 followers.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. That's the truth. That's the truth.
It's all about the marketing at that point.
Because you think about all the great players, you know, like if Merle Haggard was around today, what would happen with Merle Haggard? You know, would he still be a superstar and just go all over the world doing like he done? And you think about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Times
You know?
have changed with music. But we do have the internet, so we might as well
Yeah.
use it for the greater good.
Yeah.
You know, and spread good music out there. I'm trying to I want to see a more active scene of music, even here in Stigler. There's a lot of musicians here.
Well, yeah.
You know, we got one bar.
Yeah.
They're packed every weekend though, with a band in there.
Well, that's the way to go. Man, playing in bars, you know, you can.
Yeah. How's the scene out there in Arkansas?
Oh man, we don't have one hardly, not much. There's some stuff around, but I know a few musicians over there. Ozark. They had a bar down there that they had an open mic type deal. That I met a bunch of the local guys, and there's some good musicians over there, but they don't have a lot of venues. Not in that little area. I guess up northwest Arkansas, maybe in central part of Arkansas, but right there where I'm at, there's just not a lot of. Well, I mean, Clarksville's a dry county, so
That's
you
what
don't.
I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't even have bars there, So, but they have bars in Ozark. But everything, I think everybody's scared of the.
How much is gas over there?
I don't know. I think it was up over $3 and something.
About the same price too?
It's a little. I think it's a little bit higher. Maybe just a little bit. Not much.
I mean, what are they paying for Bud Light? I'll buy some here and take it over there and set me at the stand if I'm trying to sell it. It's a dry county.
Man, it's a. You'll see people come through there, and every once in a while, like if you're at a store or something, and you'll see somebody from out of town, and they'll be like, "There ain't no beer here." It's like, "Where's the alcohol?" It's like, "This is a dry county." It's like, "What's a dry county?" There was one guy, and he was like, "I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?" It's like he didn't even know what that meant.
My hometown was a dry town.
Yeah.
But there was a mile long drive-through liquor stores on the outside of town. One spot,
Yeah.
on a Thursday through Saturday, there'd be 5-mile line of cars ready to get into this mile-long drive-through liquor store. Everybody buy their alcohol for the week.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's still going to happen, That's the thing. It's just like I wonder what the reasoning. You always wonder what the
Right.
reasoning is behind that. What is it? Oklahoma used to be kind of twisted.
I
Like
heard that Oklahoma was 3-2 until recently.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
long time, forever. Yeah,
Wow.
man, you could drink a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
that. Forever. Yeah, I mean forever.
Wow, they used to sell 3-2 in Colorado.
Oh.
So, like, if you went to the lake, you could only drink 3-2 beer. So you drink beer-flavored water,
Yeah.
barley pop.
Yeah, it's really kind of rough, You drink that much beer. You think you're doing good or something,
Yeah.
Not really. But then you get a hold of some, regular beer, and it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm not that good of a drinker anyway,
Well, I think we're gonna call it a night, guys. What time we got here? I usually go to 8:30, I think, oh yeah, it's 8:48.
Man,
Nice.
we rolled on tonight.
Heck yeah. Well, thanks for coming out, guys.
Thanks for
This is
asking.
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope y'all had a good time and enjoyed the show. I'll put out some contact information, check out these guitars, and see about maybe getting one built. Thanks, Zack, for coming out with your
Yeah, thank you.
amazing guitar playing. It's mighty fun to listen to, as always. And y'all are playing again next Thursday?
June 22nd, yeah.
June-
No, not next Thursday, 2 Thursdays. 22nd.
2 Thursdays from now, the 22nd. Go check them out at the barn. It'll be a fun venue. Selby Band and I, Mr. Marijuana Mike, and I think Harry Williams will be playing for us in Arkansas this month.
Yeah,
We're going to be
Fort Smith.
playing at the riverfront, Fort Smith.
Downtown.
We're going to be playing in the Majestic.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
So that's going to be kind of
Nice.
exciting.
Nice, that'd be great. Man, I like downtown Fort Smith. It's pretty cool. I seen Buddy. Did you go? We went. Both of us. We seen Buddy guy
Yeah.
underneath
Seen
the
him a few
bridge.
times.
Down underneath the bridge. That was a pretty good deal.
I bet.
Because there were people in the boats, on the river.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if you'd had a boat and you knew what day it was going to be, you could just float up there, right there by the.
man.
Not pay for anything, just hang out with Buddy guy. I remember him having his wireless. He's big on wirelesses. He was out in the crowd wearing his overalls with no shirt, playing his
You
polka
see my
dot.
cable management, I can't blame the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't want to trip on that stuff.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you all have a blessed night. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.